Here we are, big game, Basilisks versus Centaurs.
Am I in the way?
Yes.
So,
Emmanuel on screen, Tonks on screen.
Desperately trying to get on screen.
I meant in the way of the camera. God damn it.
Well, you're in my line.
Now,
Yes!
head ref will be Dylan Waller.
You need to get on Tonks.
And Dundee wins the race to the quaffle, but the Basilisks are going to be first with control. Brooks to start off with the ball. Mark Kelly won the race to the ball with Adrian, but was unable to come up with the bludger. And it's going to be Dundee now, face down by Davis at point. And Brooks goes wide to Herring. Davis beat out by Kelly. Brooks has a clear run but doesn't take it. Shuttleworth in the way, trying to get in her bludger. Dortmund's now on point, but he's beat out by Kelly. Brooks face down by Shuttleworth and a Basilisk chaser. Kelly beats Shuttleworth and Marshall beats Kelly. Marshall chasing down Brooks. He misses the beat. Dundee takes on Dortmund's, can't get past. Marshall coming back into the play. Pass over the top to Herring, blocks the Shuttleworth bludger, spins out a one. Dortmund's with a huge behind the hand tackle. And he takes the ball in the keeper zone. We got Brooms down for an injury.
Oh my god.
Why is that? So no call on the play there. Legal tackle by Dortmund's. And we're just going to see a continuance after Justine goes off the field. And Lewis has the ball. Humphrey beat out by Marshall. And Parker beat out by Marshall. Nearly turns over the bludger, but he's going to keep it. Jack Davis goes over the top to Dortmund's, who goes with one hand and not two.
Grabs it. And it's again
He's got to pick it up with one hand. He's got to face down. He's got to face down one player with the bludger. He passes over. Marshall's going to be able to protect that ball for Davis. Turned over to Brooks though. And Brooks is going to take it as slow as he humanly can up the field with Dundee. Marshall face down by Kelly. He blocks. So just a quick brooms down for a popped bludger. Marshall has got a red one now. Oh, good tackle by Tran. Lets Kelly have the shot, but it's missed. Basilisks are going to press, but Brooks has Dundee back at his own hoops. This is going to fail, even though Davis initially seems keen. And the Centaurs are going to be able to reset once again against the Basilisk bludger control.
It's colour coordinated.
So you have a number of people testing out the new purple bludger hat that we have. Oh, Marshall with a nice jump over the Kelly throw. He's going to take out Brooks. He's not going to be able to do much more than that. The Centaurs were really ready to run back behind their hoops, and now they're on the counter. Mark Kelly running up behind Marshall. Marshall plays it safe though. He's going to be able to keep control. Kelly drops his bludger. And status quo retained as the Centaurs continue to just hold possession of the quaffle, deny the Basilisks any opportunity to start scoring and get out of range in this game. Oh, Shuttleworth beats Kelly. It's called safe by referee Gertler. He doesn't get the turnover though. And Bridle drops her broom trying to attack Brooks. Brooks now coming up behind Tran. Marshall blocks a beat. Shuttleworth misses though. Chance for the Basilisks if Marshall can hit. He doesn't take the ping initially. Dortmund puts the pressure on, makes the throw to Parker. Centaurs once again just going to be able to reset this ball, take their time. Tran and Kelly are going to have another go at getting back control. Marshall though is just running this game. Again a miss from Mark Kelly. And we're going to see another press from the Basilisks and another just retreat from the Centaurs as they go back behind their own hoops. Dortmund's puts the pressure on Brooks. Can't make the swap though. Parker's got room on the wing. And it's back to Brooks. Tran hassling Marshall. Lets Kelly come in from the side. And Marshall gets beat. That's a turnover of control. Dortmund nearly turns over the quaffle, but Brooks gets it back. Shuttleworth is able to beat Kelly, but allows Brooks through. He hits the shot. First goal of the game to the Centaurs. We're going to see another brooms down as conflicting referee calls. Absolute chaos here. Mark Kelly, the only one realizing it's not brooms down. He's able to recover bludger control for his team. Conflicting ref calls between referees Rodhouse and Gertler at opposite ends of the pitch, causing absolute chaos around Holly Shuttleworth. Dortmund goes over the top, and Brooks is going to recover. So it's 1-0 early going. Oh, poor pass from Brooks lets Shuttleworth make the hit on Dundee. It's going to have to be Humphrey now versus Dortmund. Makes the pass. Not able to be picked up by Parker. It is now back to Humphrey. Pacing down a couple of Centaurs. Misses a shot. Brooks is behind. First there. Back to Dundee. Runs around Lewis. Got Dortmund to contend with. Doesn't hit the shot. Turnover to the Basilisks. Centaurs looking really dangerous around the hoops, getting multiple shots off and recoveries.
I mean, other teams just need to steal Newcastle's standard. This is why we don't. Official warning for language directed another player.
Humphrey can't quite turn the ball over, and it's going to be Dortmund's to bring it up. Saunders gets himself beat out without a bludger. Dortmund's shot was on target, but Brooks able to block it. Dundee picks it up. Pressure by Davis, but ball backs to Brooks as Davis gets beat. And allows the Centaurs to reset. And once more, they're going to walk the ball up at 1-0. Very low scoring affair so far. One goal at this stage in the game. Centaurs with the only goal. Brooks, he's got some space to move, gets past Dortmund, not able to make the shot. Bit of a nothing shot there, nothing behind but Dundee though. He gets the ball, resets back to Brooks. He's got Lewis and Dortmund to contend with. Lewis tries to make the tackle. Brooks spins out of it, hits Dundee behind the hoops. Dundee puts it in. 2-0 Centaurs. And they're starting to make a bit of a push now. Gibson and Dortmund's together. And Dortmund finds a bit of space. High tackle from Stretch. Just for anyone. He's quick and he's got long arms.
But I cracked him right round the neck and the head. So
Yeah.
it was like pretty high for us.
And Dortmund's somehow tackled high by Winan. His pass is way over the top of Lewis though. It's going to be another turnover to the Centaurs. Unable to make the most of that power play.
Because Dort's had too many Olympics this morning.
Dort's had one too many Weet-Bix.
I'd say 5. One too many. I ran out of Weet-Bix yesterday, so I had some just right instead.
And Brooks in no hurry to bring this ball up the field. All 6 Centaurs are within about 5 or 6 meters of him, and he is the last player to be to be walking it up the field. And quick play for bludger control possibly from the Centaurs. Dundee gets it. He's got Dortmund's to contend with. Brooks and back to Dortmund's. The bludger's been spilled. Dundee thinks he's got a shot. Runs right across the field. Eventually chased out by Gibson. Basilisks hold on to control though at their own hoops. And once again the Centaurs look like they'll just run out the time. Winan comes back on the field as Gibson is beat out from point. Oh, big tackle. Being sent back to hoops was Davidson. Gibson beat out from point again. And Dundee is going to be put in check by Lewis. Lewis can't bring down. Brooks has Dortmund's to contend with though. Winan also beat out. Aggressive play from the Centaurs beaters. A miss from Connor, and it allows Dundee to run in and put in his 3rd goal of the game for the Centaurs. And they are very slowly grinding themselves out a lead. 3-0 so far as the Basilisks offense unable to penetrate the disciplined Centaurs defense, and then eventually breaking down in their own defense. Davidson passes to Gibson. It goes long, and it's only have to be Dortmund's pick it up just inside hard boundary. He goes back to Davidson. He's looking to run wide around Winan. Hits up Gibson. She makes the pass out to Christian. Christian gets the ball spoiled by Herring, and she gets beat out, and another turnover for the Centaurs. They've been very solid in defense so far. Just not even giving the Basilisks a look in. Connor runs up the pitch. He just gives control straight away. He doesn't get the ball back. He leaves Allard all alone to contend with the Centaurs offense. Brooks gets tackled by Davidson. He goes for the shot and hits it. And 4-0 now. All of a sudden to the Centaurs.
Brooks did the sharpshooting, just carrying the Centaurs to a victory, is what we said.
Yeah, Brooks and Dundee combining for all 4 goals of the Centaurs so far. And just a little bit of undisciplined play from Connor Saunders there. Gave up the bludger control without ensuring the quaffle turnover, and just cost his team a goal on the counter. Davidson just pushing Humphrey out of the way. Dortmund's chased down by Herring. He runs back into his own line. And Tran has been caught out of position. Dortmund takes on Dundee, but Tran hits the long beat. Stops the offense in its tracks. And they're able to hold on to control there, the Centaurs. Huge play. Tran caught way out of position, but able to bring it back. And the Centaurs defense holding up strong at 4-0. And just in total control of this match now as Dundee goes to Humphrey. Humphrey with Kelly for support. Dortmund's in the way. Herring back to Humphrey in the 1-2. Humphrey goes to Brooks. Brooks has got some space as Davidson is beat out. Brooks hits a shot. Herring with the double tap just in case. It's a turnover though. And on the charge is Dortmund's. He dodges the beat, gets around 1, gets around 2, hits the goal. Great dodge of the beat. It's going to be looked at though.
Can we get DRS, please?
Field. So the call was trans bludger bouncing off Braham into Dortmund's, and therefore Dortmund's being beat. We've also had an injury sub, Brooks coming off the field, Winan replacing him at keeper. Centaurs keep the score at 4-0. They keep control of this game. This is the second game we've had today at 4-0. And Saunders able to beat out the beater. Kelly recovers the bludger though. He's going to be back in quick enough to stop the press from the Basilisks. And Christian beat by Kelly. Saunders coming up. He's now face down by Kelly. Gets the beat off though smartly. Dortmund spoils Dundee. Braham though able to just keep Quaffle in possession, and it's going to be a Centaurs ball once the beaters come in. Dortmund's Davidson both beat out. And it's going to be Braham to carry the ball up. And a spillage of bludgers leaves one in defense. Oh, miss from Kelly. And it allows the Basilisks to keep control. There's a press call from the Basilisks, but Braham is already nearly back at his own hoops. Dial beat by Saunders. Saunders told he can keep his bludger because the beat came way after he beat Dial. Kelly challenges, but to no avail, and it's still just going to be Braham with the ball at 4-0. Yeah, Saunders just able to keep a little bit calm under pressure there. 15 minutes. So the Basilisks have 7 minutes to try and put a goal on the board and drag this game back. It's going to be Dundee, and he passes to Stretch. And Winan misses the shot. Davidson and Christian all on their own. Christian gets past one, passes to Davidson. He's got Humphrey to contend with and a beater now. Dial makes the pass, slapped down by Parker. Parker recovers and it's swarmed by Centaurs. Dial comes in and finishes it off. No score for the Basilisks. They will be very unhappy about that. Perfect opportunity for them to score on the fast break and just couldn't put the ball in the hoop at the end. And Centaurs escape there. And Braham going to try and make sure that doesn't happen again. Brooks being off the field has hurt the Centaurs' offense and defense so far. Braham able to make the block though. Got to run around, Davidson does. Winan drops the ball.
Come on, defense!
And Dortmund's able to pick it up. Bit of chaos in the middle as the bludgers fly around. Dortmund's got one to contend with. Shuttleworth just comes up and takes it. Dortmund's now has room, drops the ball in the Braham tackle. And it's going to be Dundee, Braham to pick it up, back to Winan. And Dundee stops that all by himself with a huge tackle on Dortz. And Winan just able to hold the ball above Christian. Herring just trying to keep the ball away from Davis. And Tran beats out the point chaser. Couple of Basilisks beaters back. Kelly coming in behind Shuttleworth, trying to take that ball away. Shuttleworth gets the beat off though, relieves the pressure. Ball goes wide to Herring. Herring just goes back to Braham and just settles everything down once again. So Centaurs so far have been a lot better at timing their bludger play and quaffle play together. It's resulted in them scoring 4 goals so far, whereas the Basilisks have just been way more chaotic. way less disciplined and precise in their plays. And an attempt to turn over control doesn't work. Winan, though, has got room to drive, blocks the ball, but into his own foot. On the rebound now, Dortmund has Brahm to contend with. Initially gets around him, and Davis just has one to contend with, and he puts the ball in. First goal for the Basilisks. 4-1 now as we approach Snitch on pitch. Back in Snitch range. Timeout call by the Centaurs.
Game time! Game time! 17:43. Time now!
Sorry? She said 17:37 quite softly, and he said the game time is 17:47.
I think that happened before. Someone said the time was like... And it's 4-1 right now. Centaurs have not scored since Brooks has come off the field. Basilisks have been able to isolate Brahm quite well since then, and they've also had the run of bludger control. Dortmund's beat out at point by Tran. Davis comes up now. He dodges the beat. Can't quite turn the ball over. Parker, though, under some pressure back to Brahm. Davis now beat out. Centaurs able to reset. And it's just a little bit in this game now as the Basilisks are able to put that goal on and put it back in range. Kelly coming up to trouble Marshall as Tran once again beats out point, gives Dundee some room. They all bring it together. Marshall gets back in time, blocked by Lewis. The shot was on target. And the pass back from Herring to Dundee to Brooks, kicks it up in the air. It's Dortmund's. He picks it up with one hand. He's got Kelly and Brooks tackling. Kelly to face down, Brooks tackling. Lewis able to run past as the beat comes and another broom's down. Weak. I don't want to not play some weeks. So Brooks yellow carded for a shirt grab as he went to ground. Herring just knocks the ball out of Dortmund's hands and Lewis picks it up. Dortmund's with a long bomb to Davis. He's got Brahm to contend with. Gets around, but he's beat. Christian picks it up, puts it in. 4-2. And all of a sudden, this game is in range as Brooks comes back in. And it is suddenly on as we approach Snitch on pitch. Basilisks with everything, momentum, bludger control. They've had the fast breaks. They've had a bit of luck with the ball spilling their way. And the Centaurs still just trying to settle things down somewhat and just keep possession of this quaffle while they make their plans. We got 1 minute until Seeker. Lewis beat out a point by Kelly. And Davis coming up to take the place. Marshall beat Tran. And tackle from Davis, not quite able to bring Dundee to ground. Dundee very strong through the core. He's able to stand up in the tackle and pass the ball to Brooks. And just to keep control of the quaffle for the Centaurs. Oh, beat from Marshall. Opens it up though, and Shuttleworth does get the beat on Brahm. So able to turn over everything. Dortmund has no one in his way, and he dunks that ball. 4-3. Basilisks' last 3 goals of the game. And suddenly they are right in this game. From out of range to just dominating. And the Centaurs now just looking a little bit worried. Dundee is keeper. He's marshalling his troops. Marshall though, he's going to come up and try and beat Dundee. Brooks is back at the hoops. This press from the Basilisks not quite going to work out. Oh, block from Brooks, but he drops the ball, and now he has to drop the ball again. And Dortmund's on the turnover. Beat, though, from Dial saves the day because no one was stopping Dortmund's there. Lewis passes out to Davis. Snitch is about to be released. Goes to Christian, struggling to get around Winan. He's beat out, and Winan picks up the ball. Snitch is on pitch. 1 minute till Seekers are released. Centaurs have the ball. And it looks like they're just going to try and keep it now until they can try and get a catch, perhaps. Because scoring at the moment has looked impossible for them for the last 10 minutes of this game. Oh, a couple of missed beats as both players jump. Dundee, Abraham tries to run through the middle, but beat by Shuttleworth. Lewis on the turnover. Brooks tackles. Kelly was there anyway. Wasn't going to be a goal. Davidson now able to run past Kelly. Not paying attention. Who's going to go for the seekers, sorry. Davidson not able to put the ball in. And everything is just running slowly as Brooms down is eventually called.
So it's going to be Connor going high for a couple of minutes and then swapping with Dort.
When it goes back on. Cool.
Look at Brooks and Aaron. Aaron's like, I can get this.
And Christian immediately all over Brooks on the Brooms up. Dial, though, is going to come in first and beat all the Basilisks out. We're going to have Herring versus Saunders in the Seeker game. Marshall versus Kelly in the Beater game. Straight beat out by Kelly on the Seeker. Going to give Herring first go. Marshall the beat, though. And Dial able to get bludger control back as Brian goes over the top to Brooks. Long shot, hits the hoop, and Christian dives all over the ball. Saunders versus Edmonton. Kelly versus Shuttleworth. Kelly just taking out the Seekers one by one. And it's going to be Herring now against Edmonton, the snitch. Shuttleworth comes in though, does the discipline thing. And Kelly does it again. Marshall has immunity. Davidson not even looking to score against Brian here. Brian, a really strong point chaser, goes to Davis. He's got Winan, gets around one. He's got Brooks now, gets around him. And pass off. Doesn't quite get caught by Lewis. And it's going to be Brian on the counter as Kelly again beats out the Seeker, and Brian puts it in 5-3. First goal for the Centaurs in a long time. 6-3. Okay. Missed a goal from the Centaurs there. Oh, Marshall beats them out. Beats out Tran. And he's going to run down that other bludger. 6-3, so we're still in range. And Dortmund's now seeking. He's probably the big danger in this game for the Centaurs. They cannot let him anywhere near Jack Edmonton. Herring going to try and go around. Nearly gets a hand on it. Very close to end the game. Kelly just keeping Dortmund under control for the minute as Davidson tries to drive through Braham. Can't do so. Davis is going to be first to the ball. We're going to have Brooms down as Braham dives on it.
Yeah, I know, but apparently she was injured.
And we have restarted. Basilisks have the ball. Lewis to Bridle, back to Lewis. Lewis gets absolutely poleaxed by Brooks.
That was a fair tackle.
Herring versus Everton on the other side of the field.
That was a fair tackle.
Yeah, but like, it's much. All right, so another Brooms down. Brooks red card for excessive force. Christian has to get past Winan and Humphrey and does so. And misses the goal. Going to keep the ball with a kick over the line. That's legal. That'll be allowed. And Davis is going to pick up the ball. And it's all on the snitch play at the moment. And Davis running down the pitch. Gets past one. Goes for the shot. Hits it. 60-40. We are back in range as Dundee now comes back in also. Oh, beat from Tran and the miss, so bludger control now lies with the Centaurs as Herring misses catching Edmonton. And we're going to see Dortmund's have a go. Brian bringing the ball over towards the snitch. Dortmund's goes long. He drops the snitch though, that won't count. Need to have control in order for it to count. And the Centaurs get away with one there. They've got to try and put a goal on the board or catch the snitch really quick now. They've They are running out of subs. They are running out of players. They are running out of time to finish this game before the Basilisks just start running over the top. Herring versus Everton. Brian passes it to Wine and kind of just exploits the defense. The Basilisks playing much more quaffle than they are seeker. Dundee runs in. There's a catch though.
That was terrible. Whoever made that break.
It really helps process the issues. This can't happen to us.
There has now been.
Quick catch to the Centaurs!
That is it. Centaurs win on the catch. 90 to 40. Catch to Justine Herring, able to finish the game. Thank you for watching.